What's up, everybody? It's Tomberry Disciple, running late as shit. It's okay, I'm just gonna get a little bit of streaming in on Final Fantasy 3 tonight. Don't think I'm gonna try to get through the story any. Just gonna get a little grinding. Then I'm gonna jump into 14. My schedule today is complete shit. I've been running behind from beginning to end. Fuck that, continue. I have no idea where it'll bring me. Read a bunch of cool stuff today about Final Fantasy 14 though, and that has had me stoked for quite some time. I hate that I'm coming in so late tonight. What is up, William? Sorry for the delay. I have had one crazy night, no doubt. Hopefully the rest of this night goes well. One Friday night that could have gone better, needless to say. Last night we defeated Titan on here. Wasn't too bad of a fight. I remember that I didn't actually look around in here at all, just kind of ran right back out as soon as I touched the crystal. Looking like there's nothing in here. Anyway, gonna try to interact with the crystal maybe. Nope, nothing. Run right out of here. Check this place out a little bit further. Again, I didn't check this place out at all. Literally, all I did last night, and literally all I did was fight Titan and get some grinding action in. An elixir, that's always good to see. Ooh, boss fight. Not boss fight, that looked like Une. Une's clone, that could be why it looks like Une. I don't like that. Try to get rid of her as fast as I can. After all, this is more or less just a grind session anyway. I did a little grinding before Titan, but since Titan, literally we haven't really had much direction given to us to go here. And obviously we're going to run into previous bosses on the reg. That's not exactly a good thing. So I think training and getting that good grind in would be very sufficient right now. I actually read up today, and this is something that has excited me, that I wanted to actually get back to. Holy shit, if only Une was that easy the first time around. Lunith gains a level. But the thing I wanted to talk about is, I actually read today that in an interview with Yoshida, who is the director for Final Fantasy 14, what is up, G? In the interview, Yoshida actually stated that he would not stop making jobs for Final Fantasy 14 as long as players are continue to play the game, and as long as he has the rights to keep going with it. And that is just... I was skeptical at first and thought to myself that I would not continue, Final Fantasy 14. I would get most of the main story down, maybe return during expansions, but not be a yearly subscriber per se. I didn't think I would. Now I definitely will, knowing that the director is that dedicated to his project. It can only go up from there and keep getting amazing. So I say, why quit playing? If they're going to put all that time, effort, and work into actually putting the game together every single time and keep releasing expansions and jobs and fun little things. He actually went in depth to compare it to World of Warcraft, which is something I do constantly. Also had a little bit of EverQuest in there and their comparison, even Final Fantasy 11. But that alone just entices me to want to keep playing. And hopefully other people that either hear this from me or read up on it themselves will feel the exact same way, because that is just amazing. To know that Yoshida is going to stay that dedicated to his project. And he's been on this project since 2010. Literally, when the original Final Fantasy XIV crashed and failed, Yoshida stepped in, completely saved Final Fantasy XIV, hence A Realm Reborn. Crystal Mel. That is amazing. Maybe Lunith can use it. And he can. Awesome. Can Ingus use his old mill? He cannot. But seeing that Yoshida is that dedicated to his program, or it's not really his program per se, I won't go that far, but being the director and staying so focused on the project is definitely amazing. Amazing to hear as a fan and as a player. Even if I'm still a noob. As long as I keep reading these positive things, I'm just going to keep playing, and maybe eventually I can stop calling myself a noob. Definitely excited to see where the direction of the game is going to go. These dudes here are more difficult than an ace. Clones. My fear is, though, if I don't watch out, I'm going to walk right into the end of this game. I'm totally not sure where it is, but if I'm given any Final Fantasy vibes, that I have been getting a lot since Titan's defeat, which I haven't done much, just roaming around in this area trying to get some levels up. It already is starting to feel sort of like the end of the game. Mid 40 region to early 50 region is usually about the level of most people towards the end of the game. I have to fight my demons to not look up anything on this every day. I want to know my progress. I want to know where I'm at. But I don't want spoilers. I'm just going to try to go as far as I can into this place, then turn around. Literally just trying to get some levels on today. Tonight. I just want to have a good playthrough on Final Fantasy XIV with my schedule running as late as it did. I already have to cut one of these games short, and I would rather it be this for now. I'm trying to really keep my pace on Final Fantasy XIV. I want to be as caught up as I possibly can for Stormblood's release. I have my early access already redeemed, completely ready for 2 weeks from now. And 2 weeks from now, I also plan to probably take the day off work for discretionary reasons. And those discretionary reasons, obviously, Stormblood. And gonna try to have a little party. I'll be by myself. And count down that 2 o'clock or 2 a.m. release. And really dive in. Possibly stay up as late as I can. Because again, discretionary work taking off. And hopefully I can get loads of time in on that. I know there's going to be I can't even count on these fingers how many people are going to want to see Stormblood content, and not everybody has had the chance to actually pre-order. Loads of people are waiting for that price to go down, which I don't blame you. I'm just a sucker for Square Enix. They get me and my money every time. Crystal gloves. Damn. Luna's getting hooked up. I probably need to do a little healing while I have that option. Oh shit. Damn these fingers. Une, your clone. It's something else. The fact that it's a random encounter still goes beyond me. Not as hard as her boss fought, but I actually have a huge theory around Doga and Une's fight. It's not really explained well enough in my opinion. So of course, like the other games, at the end of this playthrough I will do a full story explanation, and I really want to open up the speculation station and dive into my theory there between Une and Doga and even Zond. The game paints you a nice picture, but I have a theory that just sprouted and grew into a full-on conspiracy today at work. It was like a revelation. It was amazing when I molded all over into my head. Just in case I do walk into some random shit that I'm not trying to do right now. I guess I'll only have to cure Lunith here. Okay, good deal. Gonna swing that cure on Lunith and venture forward, see what's going on now. What's next? What laws within inside this place? A crystal helm. Amazing. Damn, look at that defense. 130 now. All we're missing now is the shield. Really makes me wonder what was that other direction I didn't run at the beginning of this dungeon. I cannot get over the fact that Yoshida actually said that he will continue to make classes and jobs for the game as long as it continues. Ooh. My fanboy status is at a full 100, peaking to the brim right now. If this was a old style thermometer filled with mercury, I'll have already exploded and melted the tile inside of the floor. Oh, right there on that teeter mark. I've just got to get so much experience in to catch up. Actually, I feel like I don't have that much more. I'm at 42. You have to be at least 50 to have access to the Red Mage questing, which loads of people are telling you have to finish Heavensward and you have to be level 60. Literally, I assure you, go to the requirements on the Square Enix website. They will tell you everything you need to know. Don't just believe everybody in random blogs that act like they know, that want to say things that they read out of a magazine article. Just because it came out of a magazine or you read it on the internet, if you haven't figured out by now, it doesn't mean it's true. Though, you do have to have a Realm Reborn story at least completed. Or so I've heard. That one I'm not really sure about. I know Heavensward is not even necessary. You don't even have to have the expansion downloaded onto your PS4 or your PC. You can play it already. You've got nothing to worry about. You do not have to get Heavensward. I do have Heavensward. I'm going to try my best to make it through as much as that as I can. My real goal is to play one during the day, being either Heavensward or Stormblood. I haven't really decided. And then one by night, again, vice versa. I remember what to do to these guys. They won't befoozle me again. I got a shit ton of high potions, might as well. Oh no, I used it on Angus. Shit. Ah, yes. Good old raise. It's kind of a waste, but that battle would have raged on forever. Let's look at that breaker. Thanks for the tip. I've been through this situation once before. I've sat there and raged with one of those things for a few hours. Well, I don't want to say hours, that's extremely exaggerated, but long time. Never use the blood sword on it. Don't do it. It's a mistake. I've done that. I've had that mistake go down. Thank you for the tip, though. I wish I could read your name. Not skilled in the characters of that language, though. Maybe it will work for Arc. It will work for Arc. 125 attack. Before I do that, though, I gotta check out Ingus here. If he can use it, he's definitely gonna get it. He's more of my heavy hitter when it comes to things like that. Damn, he can. See what else can go in Arc's position with Defender. Maybe the old sword from Ingus there. I doubt it, though. Yeah, not gonna happen this time. But it's okay, really. I don't focus on Arc being the physical attacker. He's more of my part-time healer. Just straight casting. Dual Haken. What the hell is a Dual Haken? Oh, why isn't there a faster way? You can't even hold down the button. Holy shit, you can. Dual Haken. Hatchet. Don't even think Ingus can use that. No, he can't. You know, I defeated Totten. New jobs just opened up. Holy shit. Devout, Magus, Summoner, Sage, and Ninja. Oh shit. That is so hard not to move anybody around with. Especially that Summoner class. I'm sold if the Summoner can actually use white magic. Can't. Not gonna happen. I wouldn't have left it with Luneth anyway. Luneth is a Dragoon to the end. I've already made that decision. Gonna re-equip all this stuff as quick as I can. Dragonlance. Diamond Shield. Crystal Helm. Crystal Mill. Crystal Gloves. Continue. Is that the correct direction there? Looks like it. Everybody, something cool. We are at 68 subscribers. Who is going to be number 69? We are almost there, slowly making our way to 100. Oh, we're all healed up. I'm excited. I haven't been so excited for much of anything in a long time. Between those subscribers and Stormblood, you should see me at work. I'm antsy. Trying to get out of there, just thinking about the future. It's going so slow. Oh, I feel like I have to wait forever. It's going to be well worth the wait, though. Oh, well worth it. Actually have not. This is my first playthrough with Final Fantasy 3. I'm sure there's loads of things I haven't done. I'm playing this game completely blind. I'm a super Final Fantasy fan. I've played most of the titles, but I like I said, this is my very first time playing Final Fantasy 3. I don't know much of anything. So if there's any secret items or any optional quests, I guarantee you I probably missed it. Within saying that, I've already decided that this won't be my only playthrough on here. It'll be a long time because I want to work through all the titles, then repeat. But eventually, if that was an optional quest, when I get on V2 Final Fantasy 3 playthrough, when I'm not such a noob anymore, I'm gonna actually play through it and look a little bit of things up along the way then. Here I've been just more so concerned with running into spoilers. Anytime you try to look up anything to get a little bit of help past a certain area, maybe want to know a good weakness, you are bombarded with spoilers, and I've tried my best to avoid that. Odin's Spear, though, that is insane. I can't believe I did miss that, though. You'd think they would have made that like more linear into the story. Kind of a bummer that they didn't. But V2 will be so much more glorious with all those little extra added tips. Such a waste of a raise. It's cool that it kills this guy, but those rays come in handy. At least they die. It doesn't take off a little percentage of health. The instant death is a very nice touch to the Bone Dragon. The Bone Dragon. A Phoenix down. As long as we keep getting those, using those rays isn't quite so bad. What is this? Thontanos? That's new. I don't want to exactly use jump just in case. Gotta save some of that magic for now. Well, nah, why save it? This is a pretty cool enemy design. I'm gonna have to get out of here kinda soon and swing a save. I would be so mad if I went through all of this trouble just to die. I miss Crystal so much. That's one thing I cannot wait for, is to have a save point before a boss fight in a dungeon. Protect ring, I know that's going on somebody. Oh yes, very substantial difference. Definitely going on her. this makes me nervous. I'm even more nervous now. To walk up through here or to not walk up through here? That is the tiresome question I am faced with now. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I want to. I'm sure you all want me to. But I do not feel like dying 1,000 times and raging out. So at this moment, I was going to auto shroom, but I'm just going to turn around and run back out and try to gain more experience while I still have magic, still have health. Just going to turn around, run out of here, check out the current experience and see what time it is after that. I really hate that my time was such a bummer. Being late has really gotten in the way of the things I really wanted to take care of. I was hoping to at least fight a boss tonight on this. I feel a little defeated not fighting a boss. But again, I really want to rack up the amount of time and experience I get in on Final Fantasy XIV. That way Stormblood will just be all the more better. I know we all want to see Stormblood. This game is not going anywhere. It is saved on Steam. So that's why I don't really worry about the time with it tonight. It will literally be taken care of. Still. Although I hate tonight that I'm only got in grinding, but better to be safe, get in the grinding, than to, again, go try to face a random ass boss and just have my ass handed to me. The team has got loads of experience in here too, by the way, so it was well worth it. Golem. Looks like Geodude's final form for the Pokemon fans out there. That's what I get when I see this guy. So, there's another thing I want to bring up. And this is something I've even posted on fan groups today. I've searched every square inch of Square, Google, PC Gamer, Polygon, you name it, Kotaku, Famitsu. I have searched everywhere for information on episode Prompto. And we have nothing. Supposed to come out this month. I remember I beat episode Gladiolus and it told me this month I was supposed to be getting episode Prompto. I have not heard the first word of it. One person actually mentioned that they think they will show something during E3. All I have to say, if I have to wait all the way up until E3 to hear anything about episode Prompto, that will be the biggest disappointment those project designers have done to me yet. I am very, very, very crucial when it comes to promises. Even if they're a vague promise from a video game company, don't make the promise if you can't keep it. That's why they're called promises. And it's just a little bit of a bummer to see that they have gotten such a good fan base and crowd tied into this game, and it seems like now that they have the crowd that they want, they don't even know what to do with the crowd. So they're making all these promises to try to keep us here and hooked, but nothing they've promised is coming true yet, except for episode Gladiolus and the very good key chapter 13 verse 2, which should have been in the game at the start with. There's people who argue with me and say that they did it the right way, that we should have got the game. I don't know why you would ever say that. Yeah, the game was great. I loved it. But verse 2 should have been put inside of the video game. I still don't get why they wanted to do the slow release to the expansions. I guess they're trying to jump on the trend of expansions and DLC with video games nowadays, which, if you heard me last night, you heard me talk about a little bit of video game prices increasing over the next few years because graphic enhancements. It goes in the same fault as DLC. As long as DLC keeps getting released into video games the way they are, where a season pass has to be purchased in order for you to get all of the criteria that's going to come out for the said game, those prices are also just going to get more expensive. Like right now, the base season pass is about $19 to $25 for a random video game. It was $25 actually for Final Fantasy 15. How long will it be though until that season pass literally costs just as much as the game, and then the price of the game increases? That's what I'm afraid of with our future in gaming. It only makes sense with inflation over time. It always happens. Remember, if you will, from the PlayStation 1 to the PlayStation 2 era, games spiked up to that $50 retail price. And then again, the same thing happened when we went from the era of the PlayStation 2 up to the PlayStation 4. The other generation consoles work in there as well. If you want to go ahead and put them with the Xbox to the 360 at this point, most other consoles died out, and then PC's always been up here hanging around. At this point, when they all hit the $60 region, this is kind of around the time more collector's editions started coming out. And needless to say, our collector's editions have also went up in a random average price, now capping out anywhere from $120 to $200 a piece. I remember when they were $80. So I'm not really sure. There's still a few companies keeping true to their original pricing right now. I don't even want to use the term original pricing because it's always fluctuated. But they haven't gone over the crazy limit. I'm very curious as we slowly move into 4K, higher resolution, and more frames per second being spent on video games and time being put into them with all the new efforts and new technology we have. I'm just, again, wondering how long it'll be until we're paying $80 just for a basic retail game. When consoles won't have that $500, $600 status, it'll be, you'll try to get a new console and you'll be breaking $1,000. $1,000 for a new console. And that's not now, so don't freak out, obviously. And I'm not trying to fill your head with a bunch of hullabaloo. I'm just being very realistic with this, that games could get that scary, scary price going on. Our one true savior is something I hardly even support, believe it or not, and I only call it our savior because it's true. That is indie games. The sudden rise of indie games and people not caring about the graphics that are going into the video games might be what little bit of a savior we all have. The problem with all these indie games are they are indie. They're not coming out by AAA title companies, so most people don't hear about them unless you just really do like I do and just sit on YouTube and follow video game compilation videos of what's to come and what will come, and then searching from there, going more in depth. I'll lose myself for hours sometimes doing that. But we can all hope for the best. Worst case scenario, if consoles move up to $1,000, we can all just say fuck consoles and we can all move up to PC. Because PC can be a lot easier. After all, you don't get as many of the titles on release, but eventually they come in PC ports. And if you have to upgrade your PC, it's literally as easy as a download or a graphics card change. Nothing so substantial as having to break another 1,000 just to keep up with the video games that you want to play. Hopefully we don't have to be pushed into that era. I feel like almost that's bullying gamers and fans into just forking out loads of money just to stay dedicated to something that they've been a part of for 30 plus years. Or in my case, 20 plus years. And I don't really know. The future is scary. These are thoughts that roll around in my head all day long as I read about new enhancements in video games, along with hearing other speculations. But if you reflect on the past, you see why that I have this sudden fear. This is nothing any of us are even going to have to worry about within the next 3 years. And that's a definite, that's straight from Sony themselves. Though there are new enhancements, they are rocking out the PS4 system, making it their main priority for the next 3 years. So we have that to look forward to. I assume with that being said and done with PlayStation, Microsoft is doing the same for Xbox fans out there who may be watching. So our hope isn't lost just yet. At least we'll have 3 years of what we've all got currently. But one bummer is already, though, if you haven't noticed, it's kind of already started. VR being one. VR, we already know, is the next step in video gaming. Every console provider has actually said that. So that's one thing that we already know, and it's already out. Sold separately, of course, on most consoles, unless you buy some sort of bundle altogether. But another thing is the Scorpio, Project Scorpio through Microsoft, and the Pro systems through PlayStation and Sony. Already, we have a higher grade console out, which is far greater than the original that came out on their release, which has a more hefty price, which I know some of you are already saying and thinking now, well, they've done that with literally every console generation they've had. We had the PlayStation 1, then the PSX, then we had the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 2 Slim, PlayStation 2 Slim Platinum, and then we had the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 3 Slim, PlayStation 3 Slim Pro. So I know we've already went through all those changes. Even Xbox, they had their standard Xbox, your Xbox 360, your Xbox 360 Slim, your Xbox 360 Slim Elite. So I know that we've already had changes like that similar, but the pricing was not so substantial, and the quality of the upgrades within those systems were not so substantial. On a PS4 Pro, if you are streaming, you can actually stream at 1080p. Same with the Scorpio when it comes out. Actually, I think it may already be out. Not an Xbox fan, can't tell you a whole lot about Xbox. They've just really slacked off on their exclusives, which used to be actually what kept me hooked to Xbox, was the few exclusives I could not get on PC or PlayStation, but now that's not really the case. Anything that comes out except for Halo and Gears of War, and I'm just not interested in the Xbox too much anymore, so I can't give you too much information on there. But the difference still stands. If PC and Sony move forward, Microsoft is just going to do the same. if they don't try to make a weird sudden advance before. That's usually Microsoft's move. They see Sony making a move and a play, and they're like, oh, we have to do something one step better than that. And they'll make a slot adjustment that isn't really necessarily better. It just may have a smoother processor, or maybe even vice versa, if you want to include Sony in on that, when they randomly delay their system to let Xbox come out with their system, so then they can make a new release date for their system so Xbox can't copy them. I'm waiting on that big merge, though I doubt it'll ever happen. We all want the merge. The closest thing we're going to get to that is Steam, probably. I was hoping for the Steam box, but it's looking like that won't ever happen either. If you didn't know what the Steam box was, the Steam box was an idea for Steam to have their own home console that would connect to the internet. Which, if you have a PC, I mean, it's basically the same. I literally have my PC just sitting here, attached to my TV, using it as a monitor. So, I mean, it's literally basically the same. Only I can do way more on this PC than I probably could a Steam box. But after saying all that, we can again look forward to these next 3 years of gaming. I'm just really hoping that within these next 3 years they don't start making anything exclusive to PlayStation Pro. They've already had VR exclusives, which is kind of a bummer, because I want to adapt to VR and eventually move into it, but I want to do it when it's completely bugged out. I do not want to play VR on a bugged out system and then call me paranoid and crazy and then be stuck in some kind of Sword Art Online or .hack Legends world. Screw that jazz. I like being alive. Video games are fun and all, you know, but I don't want to get killed by a 3-story monster, which is completely unrealistic, probably would never happen, most likely. Still, yet, I don't want to be playing VR, look up to expect maybe a giant airship flying over me, and then, you know, only see half of it, part lag, and then see the end of it, and then wonder what the hell. So I will eventually move up to VR, but believe me, it's going to be at the damn near last minute when I know every single bug has been worked out. That way I can jump in and play that, and it's just going to be amazing. I've already seen a few homemade VR through Oculus. Oculus is actually where it's at. Sorry, Sony, but you need a few upgrades if you want to keep up with Oculus. If you are not sure what Oculus is, the Oculus is basically the top of the line VR system right now. They actually are open to modding. People have made all sorts of mods on top of that. I've seen Star Wars, I've seen Pokemon, I've seen Dragon Ball Z now. Dragon Ball Z, Star Wars, and Pokemon. That's almost really all you have to tell me right there to entice me to want to get it and want to play it. But they look extremely buggy, so that really just plays into what I had originally stated about wanting all bugs worked out before I even attempt to get into VR. I still have to try to get my transition ups too. I will eventually move up to a PS4 Pro, not rocking one of those yet. Just rocking the PS4 Slim at the moment. I just want to do everything within my streaming to be gradual, like it has been so far. Not trying to just come out with all the most expensive equipment and just have no room for improvement. I like starting off basic and then slowly moving up with more clutch moves to make my improvement more substantial. That way when it does happen, you really notice. It's not like me telling you something changed, you're like, oh yeah, now that you said something, I notice it's clear. I don't want it to be like that. I want you to one day jump on here and be like, whoa, Tonberry Disciple looks fucking real. He looks like he's right here in my room. Oh shit, he is in my fucking room. Ah! No, we don't want that to happen. but definitely would like these changes to come through smooth, slow, and sufficient. That way you all notice, and that way it's more enjoyable that way for me and for you, because again, this isn't just for me. I do this for everybody else who loves Final Fantasy and who would love to see Final Fantasy streaming. In my opinion, there's just not enough of that. Ark has caught up with the crowd. Refia is about to level up again. Won't be long for Angus. A long ass time for Ark. But everybody, my rant has gone on long enough. It's 1:33 in the morning where I'm at, and I'm ready for some Final Fantasy 14. Tomorrow, I will definitely dive back into this at an earlier time, my usual time, not this late ass mumbo jumbo where I have to ramble and grind and probably bore a few people. I hate to even bore anybody, but that's why I do a lot of reading. If I feel like I'm not going to be able to do a solid playthrough of story, I'm just going to get that grind on, read up as much as I can during the day. That way I can jump in here and tell you all what I've read, things to come. Then maybe, you may be enticed to look up more things to read about. Maybe I might, say something that catches your eye. Maybe you might find new details that you can leave in my comment section later. I would love to find anything that you might find as well. Love reading about new Final Fantasy juicy details. I'm all about that. But for now, hopefully, if you're new and you haven't left and you've sat here and listened to me ramble, you can be the 69th subscriber. 69! That'd be awesome. And, if you want to bump it on up to 70, if you have some buddies, we can get that giveaway started at 100. And then, at 70, it's just a stone throw away from that. But for now, everybody who has subscribed and who has been watching and who wants to see some Final Fantasy 14 gameplay, that is about to go on now. Hopefully you can catch me there. If not, I hope you have a good night. But this is Tomberry Disciple. I'm jumping to Final Fantasy 14. Take it easy, everybody.